Welcome in, everybody. It's the coach. This is Madden 20 on EA Sports. Coming up next, we've got what should be a good one between the Denver Broncos and the Minnesota Vikings. I'll be back with you again with scores around the league at halftime. But kickoff right around the corner. And standing by to call the action, here are Brandon Godden and Charles Davis.
Appreciate you, Coach. Well, later tonight in November, snowfall is forecasted to hit the Twin Cities, but right now, calm outside, and of course, a calm day inside U.S. Bank Stadium in Minneapolis. It can certainly get loud inside this building, and just a few moments ago when the Vikings were introduced, it was downright shaking in here. They're set for football as the Vikings get ready to do battle with the Denver Broncos. Hi again, everyone. Brandon Godden alongside Charles Davis. And Charles, you look at this Vikings ball club. They come in the midst of a pretty bad stretch here. Losers of 5 straight.
So many different reasons teams hit the losing skids, but the best way out of it, something has to happen positive early in the game.
Meanwhile, for the visiting Broncos, they've been cooking these last couple months. Winners of 7 of their last 8 games.
And if you extrapolate that out to a full season, they'd be 14-2. And anyone in the NFL today would sign up for that.
The NFL season has hit high gear, and off we go in Week 11 on EA Sports. This is taken about 7 yards deep. And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line. Out come the Vikings with Kirk Cousins leading the way. Cousins surprisingly efficient in his first season as a member of the Vikings. He hit on better than 70% of his passes, second only to Drew Brees, and was actually just the 6th ever NFL quarterback to finish a season above that 70% mark. They go play action here on first down. And that will be incomplete. Would have been a big hitter if they had connected. Instead, it's second down. Let's take a look here at the offense for Minnesota.
And running back Dalvin Cook was drafted in 2017 to be the lead runner for the Vikings, and he should love what they're putting in for him in 2019. This is a run-first, run-heavy offense as dictated by their...
And the pressure too much that time as Cousins goes down. Derek Wolfe able to record his 5th sack of the season.
All right, partner, I'm going to be Captain Obvious right here. Not the start you're looking for offensively, right? Incomplete pass, followed by a sack.
And when he went down, it looked like that right ankle got turned, but thankfully he popped up okay, and they breathed a sigh of relief on that sideline. So now after the sack, Cousins and the Vikings come up here 3rd and long. 3rd and long for Cousins. Setting up the screen for Cook. And he'll get it up here this time to the 21. And a screen only good for 3 that time, and it'll bring up a 4th down.
There's an example of good situational football being played by a defense. They understood where the 3rd down play was, the down and distance, and made sure that they didn't get anywhere near that, bringing up 4th down.
Yeah, they were sniffing out that marker, didn't want to let him get close to there, and now a likely 3 and out to start.
Yeah, I love the way they rallied to the football and got to him and made sure he didn't give up much run after catch.
Devontae Booker, and all the way home for a Broncos score. Mark that down as a punt return of 78 yards, as his guys are able to strike first here in this opening quarter. They get the stop defensively, force the punt, they score without their offense even stepping on the field.
I remember playing on special teams and teasing the guys on offense like, look, you don't even worry about it. You guys just hang out over there. We'll bring this one all the way back and get the points we need. In this case, they actually got that done.
Extra point from McManus is good, and it's now a 7-0 game. So his big play capability in full display there as he's able to return that punt for a touchdown. So after the punt return touchdown, let's see what their opponents can do with this kickoff. This is fielded a couple yards deep. And he'll take it back to about the 19-yard line. The Vikings now heading onto the field. And to be frank, they're just in a tough spot. It's only November, already eliminated from playoff contention. I know their fan base doesn't want to hear that, but that's the case. What are they fighting for now going forward?
You know exactly what they're fighting for. Is that word that some people don't want to hear, but it's pride.
Draft. Oh, okay.
Yeah.
I was going to go draft, but pride's better, right?
You know something? You're right, because that's part of it, but that's two different mindsets. That's front office mindset, draft position, where are we going to be and what do we need to get? And then the players and the coaching staff right now, pride. Can they win some games and feel better about themselves despite the fact they have no shot at the playoffs?
An incomplete pass on first down. That leads to a 2nd and 10. Here's Dalvin Cook, third year back from Florida State. This will be a short gain of 3 before he's brought down at the 22.
Sometimes your philosophies get challenged at times you don't want them to. They did try to stick to the running game on the first 2 plays. Didn't amount to much.
And now facing a 3rd and long at the outset of this drive. He'll be brought down by the Broncos. It's a sack.
Well, that play was the very definition of fast, quick, and in a hurry. Suddenly, he was there.
Yeah, blink of an eye. That happened fast and a big sack. Here's Matt Weil now. Remember, his first attempt was returned for a touchdown. Fielded just inside the 30. Nearly a huge return, as it is still a very good one. 24 yards. And it'll be a short field for the Broncos as they take over 1st and 10.
Ready. 60 or.
Now the young man who was a Pro Bowler as an undrafted rookie, it's Philip Lindsay. And he is tackled inside the 40, not quite to the 35. That one going for a gain of 11 and a Bronco first down. Well, we talked about Philip Lindsay so much last year, but it bears repeating. Undrafted in 2018. The Broncos would sign him in May, and that was a good decision. He would have a 1,000-yard season, 9 touchdowns en route to a Pro Bowl appearance. So from undrafted to playing in the Pro Bowl in 10 months, that's pretty clean living for Philip Lindsay. A good run there on first down, and it'll leave him with a 2nd and 2. On 2nd down, a run with Lindsay. And he'll go down here right around the 23-yard line. A gain of 5, good enough for the first down.
Nice job there finding room to maneuver, and he worked his way into another first down. And look, they had great field position to start, but boy, they've done a nice job taking advantage of it.
Now they're just hoping to cap it off. Got a man open, it's Sutton. And he is out of bounds, but first he gets it inside the 10 to the 7. Mark that as a gain of 16 to set him up 1st and goal.
Timing is everything, and they work on this cut all the time. They work on all the timing patterns, and this time it paid off for them. Worked him to the center of the field, cut it to the outside, ball's delivered. It's both feet down for the completion.
Now a carry for Lindsay, and he'll be stopped up after only a couple of yards as he gets it down to the 5. The offensive starters now for the Broncos.
One thing for us to keep in mind and remember, they're coming off of their open week last week. They got to sit home and relax a little bit before the final stretch of the season. They got the lucky draw because every team in the league wants to have that open week later in the year rather than early. They benefited.
One more time with Lindsay. And a minuscule gain of maybe a yard from the 6 to the 5. This is how they will line it up defensively for Minnesota. They're going to need to be strong against the run in this one.
One thing you do know, they'll be fired up because they're facing a top 5 rushing attack. And even if they have early success against them, they got to remember they got to sustain it because teams that are top 5, they don't stop running the ball if they don't get things done early.
An extra defensive back on the field here for 3rd and goal.
Ready.
They're going to look to throw. And that is caught. Touchdown, Denver. Deshaun Hamilton, his first touchdown on the year. And the Broncos push further out in front. I'll let you do the analysis, partner, but with every touchdown pass this young quarterback throws and with the success that his team has had, I just continue to be more and more impressed.
Let's both do the analysis. Impressed. Aren't we both?
Yeah.
I mean, and why shouldn't we be? We've seen him improve throughout the year. We've seen him settle in now, and you can see the confidence of the team has grown. His confidence has grown. I think that everyone around this guy feels good about what they've seen, and it's also safe for him when he's driving home to turn on Sports Talk Radio. He's okay.
Touchdown.
They had to go to the monitor, get an extra look. That's what the technology is for, and this touchdown will count. McManus's point after is good, and it's now 14-0. So this drive spans 7 plays, and it culminates in a touchdown by the Broncos. After the touchdown, here's McManus now to kick it away. This is taken about 7 yards deep. And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line. The Vikings offense now, they get ready to head back on the field. Already down 2 touchdowns here in the first half. This becomes a pretty important drive, doesn't it?
It certainly does, and a lot of the teams script plays. We know that, right? They have a script to start the ball game, and typically those scripts go between 12 and 24, 25 plays. Down 2 touchdowns early, probably not very deep into their script. I think that they'll stay with it. I don't think they'll abandon it just yet and try and generate some offense on this drive.
Anything. At least 3 points, get that 0 off the board. They start the drive with Cook. And he will lose yardage and be backed up to the 24. It's a loss of a yard there, and now 2nd down. Plays like we just saw there. That's why they're up right now. And the defense, they're doing their job.
Yeah, it starts with the guys up front. So when you talk with GMs who are putting together a team, a lot of them say we're going to build from the inside out, because if you control the line of scrimmage, you control the rest of the ball game. And that's what we're seeing here. They're actually playing in the offense's backfield, not necessarily just playing at the line of scrimmage.
A loss of a yard there to start out. That leads to a 2nd and 11. Draw play. Cousins to Cook. 8 yards there on the carry, and now they're left with a much more manageable 3rd and 3. Second quarter now from Minnesota. It's the Vikings in possession of the football. 14-0 the score. This is the NFL on EA Sports. Now throwing on 3rd down there, but he cannot connect. Problems on 3rd down so far in this first half. Relatively small sample size, but they're now 0 for 3.
And the average in the league, somewhere around 40% on 3rd down for offenses. So what's the answer to this? Either convert them or don't get to 3rd down in the first place. Get your big chunks of yards on 1st and 2nd down.
Here's Matt Wild now as he's on to punt for Minnesota. He's been a busy man here in this first half as he gets it away. This will be fielded at the 17. So a change of possession here on the punt. And the Broncos take over. 1st down and 10. Now the Broncos offense, they get set to head back onto the field. And this unit has been set up nicely here in this one, thanks to some great punt returns that we get a look at.
And they did kind of give us a hint about that in our pregame meeting, didn't they? They felt like they had a good scheme prepared for this game, that they could use whatever return they had on to create big yardage. And boy, have they been right about that.
Hit it.
The Broncos onto the field, ready to start their next drive. It's been a good first half so far. They're up 14-0. Points here, they could really put them in command before intermission.
Yeah, and it's all well and good what they're seeing. And
there he goes, right side. And all the way home for a Broncos score. Noah Fant, his third touchdown now on the year. And the Broncos push further out in front. When they drew that up, I don't think they envisioned it ending in a house call, but he got it and took it all the way home.
Really impressive run after the catch, wasn't it? That was really special by him. But let's face it, in today's NFL, those tight ends are often former wide receivers or maybe even sometimes bigger running backs. They just put them in a position to get a great matchup and make plays like that.
Delay of game, offense.
And that'll be accepted, of course, and that moves him back 5. Now McManus to tack on the extra point. And it is now 21-0. And they're able to get the connection on the long touchdown pass. And that's one of the easiest drive summaries you'll ever see. One play, touchdown. After the touchdown, here's McManus now to kick it away. That'll be taken in the end zone. And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line. A reminder that coming up later tonight, a good one on Sunday Night Football. We'll see what could have been a playoff matchup a season ago. The Bears and the Rams from L.A. And then tomorrow night, Monday Night Football from down in Mexico. Mexico City, to be precise. The Chiefs and the Chargers going at it. Cousins and the Vikings with a 1st and 10 at their own 25-yard line. Here's Cook as they begin on the ground. 10 yards on the pickup there, and it'll be 2nd down.
Partner, I remember a coaching friend of mine used to tell his running backs before games, make sure you run and jog with your offensive line in pregame. Get used to the ground shaking when those big behemoths start to create space for you up front. He did a pretty good job of just following those guys through there for a nice explosive run.
They get 14 there. 1st down, Vikings. Back-to-back good plays have them on the move on 1st down. A toss to Cook. And he'll lose yardage on the play back at the 45-yard line. This drive starts with 2 steps forward and now 1 back. A pair of 1st downs, and here a loss of yardage.
We think, Brandon, I like the intensity this defense is showing right here in these first few drives. They're not just holding the line because they're doing their job, but they're doing more than that, aren't they? They're getting a nice push into the offensive backfield.
And a great example right there for the loss on the tackle. On 2nd down, Cook. And he is met in his tracks behind the line of scrimmage. The 2nd down play results in a loss of 2 yards.
An interesting and intriguing decision there defensively because they kept extra DBs on the field despite seeing the multiple tight end look that came out for the offense.
I thought they were going to switch out of it. I didn't know if they felt they didn't have time or what the case was.
Well, in any event, the extra speed allowed for great penetration as they stuffed that one behind the line of scrimmage.
Nowhere to escape, and he goes down.
That's 3 sacks now, and that's not much of a surprise to me, nor should it be to you. This team, they lead the league in sacks.
Yeah, they do. This is something that we are starting to witness time and time again. And now it's the punter Weil on as he sends this one away. And he didn't quite have the backspin on that one. It hits at the 4 and continues into the end zone. It's a touchback. Out comes this field general once more, leading his offense back onto the field. And he's been good. 2 first-half touchdown passes, no interceptions so far.
Does a lot for your confidence. does a great deal for your team, gives them a lead, and they're feeling really good about how they're playing. I think he expects to throw at least another one.
I was going to say, now he wants the first half hat trick, doesn't he?
Oh, without a doubt. Go ahead and fling him on the field, folks. He wants that type of celebration.
Ready? 70, Indy.
Fuck, Mike. Hey, let's get this,
Get it.
They'll start on the ground with Lindsey. And now look at this. Big gain, but a fumble.
Wow, that ball gets knocked free, but a teammate comes along and scoops it up. It's almost like baseball. Guys at bat, people are on base in scoring position. One guy doesn't get him home. The next guy comes through and picks him up.
And avoids the turnover. So one play, and they're already just shy of midfield. They'll look to throw. He's got it, the tight end, Jeff Heuerman. A gain of 6 there on first.
Now that's staying ahead of the chains. Really good pickup on first down, hitting the tight end there. Now it brings up a second and manageable.
Just found a hole in that zone. And we'll remind you that coming up at halftime, we'll join Jonathan Coachman and the gang in Orlando. Coach will have stats and scores from the early games going on here around the NFL. They'll run here with Lindsey. And he's got this down to the 35. A 10-yard pickup, and it's enough for a Broncos first down.
We both know it's difficult, but they've made it look effortless out there. Through the air, on the ground, they've moved the ball with relative ease.
They'll look to throw now on first down. He's got his big tight end, Fant. Give him 9 there on the first down completion. Fant, the first-round pick out of Iowa, taken 20th overall. Second tight end taken in the draft. Amazingly, the second Iowa tight end taken in the draft is teammate T.J. Hawkinson. 8th overall, he was selected by the Lions, but Noah Fant really wowed everyone in Indianapolis at the Combine, and now trying to parlay that into an impressive NFL career. On first down, right back to Lindsey. And he's got room, and he'll take it into the end zone for a Denver score. Phillip Lindsey, his 14th touchdown now on the year. And the Broncos push further out in front.
I heard a coach talk about those late-in-the-half scores, especially ones that give your team a pretty decent cushion. He said those could be the ones that can finish off a squad if you let them.
Yeah, they've got the cushion. This half has been theirs. And now the offense is going to stay out there as the Broncos will go for 2. They'll try and throw for it. And he's got it. So the try for 2 successful. And that bumps their lead up even further. So they elect to pass there on the 2-point try. Sometimes can prove risky. There it worked out.
Yeah, and I love how you bring up that it can prove risky, because if you get it intercepted and they return it, that's 2 points for the defense, but not on that play.
After the touchdown, here's McManus now to kick it away. This is fielded a couple yards deep. And he'll bring it a few past the 20 to the 23-yard line. Now the Minnesota offense set to take over again. Typically down in the first half, I might say, oh, you at least need a field goal out of this drive, but they're down to the point where they need a touchdown, don't they?
Yeah, normally, you know me. You've been around me for a while now, right?
Unfortunately.
I'm sorry about that. But normally, I'm the one preaching patience.
Yeah.
You know, take your time, first half, you still got a chance. I think they're out of patience here. This has to be a drive that gets a touchdown. So if you're the play caller, you're going to that portion of the sheet that says big-time plays, specials, anything you can use to get yourself back into it.
On 2nd and 10, Cousins. Oh, a scrap for the football, and he's going to come down with it. The Vikings going to signal for the first of their timeouts as the clock will stop with 33 seconds to go in the first half. On 1st and 10, Cousins. He's got a first down and then some at midfield. And he'll finally be taken down just shy of midfield. Now the Vikings will use the second of their timeouts as they stop it with 28 seconds to go in the first half of play. Off the play fake, Cousins. Pressure, and he's going to be taken down. They sack him back right around the 44. The Vikings going to use their third and final timeout as the clock will stop with 21 seconds to go here in the first half. After the sack on first down, Cousins. And Rudolph has it, the tight end. And he drops it incomplete. And their struggles continue here. These guys have punted 4 times already, and they're staring at a 5th, barring a conversion here on third down. Now a third down throw, but it misses the target, incomplete. Here's Matt Weil now. He's been one of their few bright spots so far. And he deserves a bronze leg as he gets this one away. And this one hits at the 1, continues on into the end zone for a touchback. The Broncos onto the field, ready to start their next drive. Time for a final kneel down or a safe run, and then they can head to the locker room with a lead.
Yeah, or they can even run a screen. You know, something they feel is somewhat safe that might actually pop and turn into a big play. That's what you usually run in this situation.
Or go 4 verticals because why not?
Because you're feeling it, right? You're just feeling it.
So we've come to halftime after a very one-sided beginning to this one. As we'll head down to Orlando, that's where we find our man Jonathan Coachman at our EA Sports Halftime Report. Coach.
All right, Brandon, thank you very much. The NFL season going to be about 2/3 complete after this weekend, so lots to get to as we check out what's going on here in Week 11. We'll start with a good one in the NFC South. Carolina playing host to Atlanta, and they are seconds away from halftime, all tied in that one. We'll stay in the NFC North as we head over to the Motor City to check on the Lions at home in Detroit. And they have the lead in that one over the visiting Dallas Cowboys. Matthew Stafford, 3 touchdown passes. Finally, let's get to Indianapolis to check on the Colts at home at Lucas Oil Stadium. And they've got the lead in that ball game over the visiting Jaguars. Andrew Luck has thrown a couple of touchdown passes. Meanwhile, our game has been a boat race. Very one-sided to this point. And for the call of the second half, let's get it back to our commentating team of Brandon Godden and Charles Davis.
Broncos with a lead, and they will be receiving this kickoff here as quarter 3 is underway. This will be taken in at the 1. And a nice return sets him up pretty good here at the 30-yard line. Here comes the Broncos offensive unit here as they'll have it first to begin this third quarter. They built a good first half lead. Now they have a chance to add on to it.
And what I'm thinking is that the offensive staff spent the entire halftime just working with them on, here's what we think they're going to do to attack us in the second half. Nice first half that we've had, guys, but be prepared for some change-ups. We're going to see them when we kick it off in the second half.
See how they handle any adjustments that might be made defensively. Now here's a pass on first down that's knocked away and incomplete. Ball on the 30 as they come up 2nd and 10. A give running right, Lindsey. Found a little room there as he's up to about the 37. A nice job to get 8 there after the incompletion, and now they'll look at a 3rd and 2 coming up.
Check. Watch the before.
Another run by Lindsey. And he's got the first down yardage as he brings this up to the 47. Got what they needed there. The drive continues with a 9-yard pickup.
They're trying to show that they can run the ball, protect this lead, give it to the backs, play a little bit of keep away, don't you think?
And that's probably a good philosophy at this point, going to make that defense stand up and stop them. The throw down the field, caught by his running back. And he'll be taken down at the 44-yard line. 10 yards on the pickup there, and it'll be 2nd down.
And we see another pitch and catch there to the running back. This position just continues to evolve. They become just as critical to the passing attack as a lot of receivers, tight ends, because their ability to make people miss in the open field, it can really generate Big plays for an offense.
And he is into the end zone for a Denver touchdown. Cortland Sutton, his 5th touchdown now on the year, as his guys continue to put this one out of reach.
And remember, partner, that's a rookie quarterback back there. Apparently, he's getting the hang of this NFL thing pretty quickly.
Had 3 touchdown passes. You're right, he looks comfortable. What are they doing? Anything in particular?
Well, they keep talking about making sure they're giving him plays that fit his talents and also maybe shrinking the playbook a little bit. They did tell us that. Bottom line, he's really good.
And now the offense is going to stay out there as the Broncos will go for 2. They'll look to throw. Rush coming, and he's taken down.
I know we could sit up here and dance around it a little bit, but going for 2 in this situation, somebody doesn't like someone else. There's no doubt in my mind.
Well, what they couldn't see is you lean back in your chair and you went, yeah, that's not a good decision. They didn't get it, though.
Yeah, I don't think you can just say, well, my kicker's hurt in this spot. No, okay.
Here are the Vikings now to start their next drive. These guys had to punt last time. It has not been a very fruitful game offensively thus far. They haven't even made a trip to the red zone. And I know that everyone's going crazy on that sideline because that drives you berserk to come off the field, not really move the ball well. As you said, not even get to the red zone, let alone, not even put points on the board. They've got to just take a deep breath, relax, try and figure out what is working, and call more of that. And they're going to get him behind the line yet again as his nightmare afternoon continues. It's a loss of 2, now 3rd down. I saw Von Miller in college at Texas A&M, and all I kept hearing about was his speed off the edge to the quarterback. But what impressed me is balance and his ability to take on blocks and be a force in the run game, as we just saw there. A 3-yard loss, 4th down now. He continues to struggle to find a crease to break off a big one and might need to just put that aside and just try and ram his way forward and get what he can. That's taken on the 25. A great return there of 22 yards. And the offense will take over with a new set of downs. Now Cortland Sutton and the rest of the offense getting ready for their next drive. Pretty good game for him so far. I guess he's still got time here to make this a great game, but so far he's been solid. I like where you're going with that because it has been pretty good, but there's always that hint. Nowhere to escape, and he goes down. Daniil Hunter able to record his 5th sack of the season. Well, they go play fake. The problem is nobody was faked out. And when no one's faked out, what's the end result? Quarterback gets hit. And they need to work to at least get some of this yardage back after the sack. 2nd and 19. Back to throw. Looking for Sanders here on the deep ball. This is caught at the 20. A huge play there for Denver. 46 yards. Just more of the same there, partner. Guys have just been running free in the secondary this entire game. No pass rush, a lot of passes completed. Been an easy day for them. So the big play means just like that, they'll operate from the red zone now on 1st down. On 1st and 10, it's Lindsey. And maybe a measure of revenge there. He's had his way in this one, but this time they get him behind the line. What a difference a play makes. A huge step forward and now a small step back as he loses a yard or 2. Here we go on 2nd and 12. To the end zone, but it's incomplete. Cortland Sutton was the man he was looking for. And now it's 3rd down. I'm going to need some help with this one. How did he miss him? Wide open in the end zone. He's not hurried. He's not hit. And somehow, incomplete? Yeah. What happened? During film study, that's one where he's just going to shake his head, not be able to believe it. 6 points go by the wayside on that one. And now the 3rd down throw incomplete as well.
Certainly looked like they were getting ready to convert there on third down, but what an effort to get his hand on that one, knock it away, and brings up a fourth down decision.
So the drive stalls out inside the 15-yard line, but they do get 3.
And I've talked with enough players nowadays, and when they have these types of kicks, that no one says to their guy, hey, that's just like making an extra point, piece of cake. Because the extra point is not a piece of cake anymore. But kicking a field goal from that distance, just give him confidence and let him knock it through.
This one taken just inside the 10. And it's a pretty good return here as he'll get it up to the 29-yard line. And now out comes Minnesota. These guys had to punt their last possession, and that's become too familiar of a refrain. Too many of these drives just wound up going nowhere.
But you know how in baseball, when the pitcher gets a base hit and he's on base, they bring his jacket out to him to keep him warm? A lot of times the punter goes to the sideline, puts on sweatpants or a wrap over his leg to keep it warm. He might need a massage from the trainer right now from all the work he's getting.
Now a play fake here on first down. It's caught by Garcon. And they nearly get this all the way to midfield. Mark him down at the 49. Great way to start the drive. 20 big ones and a first down. So one play, and they're already just shy of midfield.
He can't hang. He's not going to get me.
Play action now. Cousins. And he's got the hook up here. It's Kyle Rudolph. And he gets this inside the 35-yard line. Give him 18 there and give the Vikings a first down.
Not only have they completed a couple on this drive, but they peeled off some pretty good chunks of yardage, too.
Absolutely. Great start. 2 nice plays in the pass game. Now can they continue to feed off that? Back-to-back good plays have them on the move on first down. To throw, Cousins. And he is going to be taken down. And that should be the final play of this third quarter. Von Miller able to put an end to that play, and in so doing, puts an end to this third quarter. And they're not going to get to the line to run another play. So we will switch ends as the third quarter has come to a close. We'll return with more after this. You're watching the NFL on EA Sports. Work to be done here on 2nd and 16 after the sack. Cousins now. They'll try and set up the screen. It's complete. A good job defensively to hold that to 4 yards, and now it's third down. One thing I think that's safe to say defensively, the tackling's been really good.
And because of that, it's been very, very hard for them to move the ball because you're not getting the benefits of run after catch. They're tackling.
Quick strip, the ball's out. And this is going to get out of bounds, so they will gain a bit of yardage on the play, actually, and they'll hold on to the football as well.
I don't know about you, but I could hear and feel the sigh of relief all the way up here in our booth.
That was palpable. The sideline, the friend there.
No doubt about it. Ball goes over the sideline, able to retain possession, no turnover. I know his coaches are screaming, just hang on to the ball, man.
Well, a tough day for this offense continues. One of their best chances to get on the scoreboard there, couldn't do it.
Yeah, it's not looking like it's going to happen for them today, does it? I mean, opportunity after opportunity, play after play has gone against them the entire game. They probably feel a little bit like Schleprock, got that black cloud over their heads.
Now this Broncos offensive unit ready to head back out onto the field. And, Charles, we are in the midst of a very one-sided affair. I think this is where you and I have to fill a little bit. You want to regale us with old stories of your childhood in New Paltz, New York?
I don't think anyone wants to hear that, but this is a perfect time for us to start listing MVP candidates, right? The best teams we've seen so far this year, the best games that we've called thus far, how we anticipate the season unfolding. We can go in so many different directions because the game certainly not taking us there.
Oh, I hear the remotes clicking off right now. Now, meanwhile, here's a second down throw that's knocked away and incomplete. The former Pro Bowl linebacker Anthony Barr there to jar it free.
Now, the secondary's really struggled today, but that's a little bit of a measure of revenge, isn't it? And they just followed the basic rules. See ball, knock ball away. turns into a nice play.
The Broncos on third down. They've been okay, 2 for 3 thus far. This is third down and 12. They'll set up to throw. He's going to rifle one deep left side, and that's caught inside the 35. That's a first down with a cherry on top, 31 yards. Boy, another big play late here for an offense, Charles, that certainly has had its fair share of big plays.
Coverage has been a problem all game long, and I would say that going along with that has been confidence. Because even if they had the right coverage, they've still dented them, and now it's been a real issue for them during this game.
They'll run on first down. It's Lindsey. And the result here, a pickup of 8. Leaves them with 2 to go on second down.
They don't want it. Keep playing hard, fellas.
Brings up second and 2 at the 25-yard line.
8 yards the gain on that last run. Here's second and a couple.
Oh, yeah, I'm coming. Oh, yeah, I'm coming.
Second and 2. That's going to be caught. And he'll take it into the end zone for a Denver score. Cortland Sutton with his second TD of the game, his 6th on the year, as his guys continue to pour it on. He has really settled in throwing the football, and that touchdown here in the fourth quarter gives him a pretty comfortable cushion.
He may be a rookie, but he's playing like fourth quarter, and the QBing is easy. How about this guy? Youngster, not worried about anything, just cutting it loose and having fun.
Extra point from McManus is good, and the lead will swell by 1 more. The drive summary that time, 5 plays, and it ends with a Denver touchdown. After the touchdown, here's McManus now to kick it away. This is fielded at the chalk of the 10. And he'll be brought down at the 23, make it the 24-yard line. Now the Vikings offense gets set to take over here. And let's face it, this drive is not going to have any bearing on this game, but it's kind of important for one reason, isn't it?
It certainly is. You got to get points. And okay, all right, I'm being facetious here, but you get points, you feel a little bit better about yourself as you move on to the next one.
Going deep for Diggs. And that'll wind up incomplete. Try to give his man room to run under it, but it's second down. From the 24, they'll go again on second and 10.
Come on, QB, come on.
Here's Cousins. And he drops it incomplete. And their struggles continue here. Another incompletion. You know, it's a wonder he's still moving around back there the number of times he's been sacked.
Yeah, he's staying out there, isn't he? And you don't think about it much in a game like this, but he's showing incredible leadership. Still competing.
And the pressure too much that time as Cousins goes down. Von Miller in there to get him, and that is now sack number 18 on the season for him.
He's the NFL sack leader coming into the game, and now that's 2 more that he's added to his total.
He wants some separation from spot 1 and 2 in that sack category. Here's Matt Weil now as the drive goes backwards, so he's on to punt it away. That's pulled in at the 32. It'll wind up being a net of 41. 9-yard return, 50 on the punt. And out will come the offense as they take over. The Broncos offense now gets ready to head back onto the field. With this lead and the football, things obviously looking good, but maybe, you've taught me this before, maybe this is where the defense is hoping that the offense helps them preserve that shutout that they've got going.
And it has to be in the minds of the offense that they know how rare it is to get a shutout. So take care of them, protect them, take care of the ball, move it downfield, run the clock down. You don't want your defense to have to go on the field again the rest of the game. Reward them.
And a big loss across here as he's taken down. Everson Griffin. What a play by him. That's going to go as a loss of 13. Now then, after the sack, it'll be interesting to see what they have planned for 2nd and 23. Just 2 minutes remaining here in the fourth quarter of what has been a one-sided affair. So it's Bronco football as we get your reset here. Now it looks like he'll throw here. He completes this to Sutton. A big gain there after going backwards, and that'll lead to a 3rd down.
You got it. You got it.
And they just had another big completion there. And I think in days gone by in the NFL, you might have asked, is this a little bit of overkill? Is this rubbing it in? I don't think people feel the same way nowadays.
It's the age-old argument. Then you could say on the other side, if you're going to get angry about it, stop it, right?
Go ahead and stop me. And I think a lot of the times they just look at it like, let's just play the game. And however it turns out, it turns out.
Boy, no chance as he was met and dropped behind the line there. He lost 2, and it brings up 4th. This late in the game, Charles, I think you maybe seriously have to think about going for it.
Especially where they are in terms of field position, because this is almost like no man's land. Might hurt your punter because there might not be enough space, maybe too far for your field goal kicker. I'm like the old rule. Possession is 9/10 of the law. Possession is 9/10 of winning the game. Go for it, get the first down, close it out.
Now it looks like we've got a Bronco that's banged up on the play. While the training staff takes a peek, we'll take a break. Good starting field position for the Vikings as they have it 1st and 10, right at the 50-yard line. Cousins now from the 50. And his throw here's incomplete. The intended receiver was Laquan Treadwell, but it'll be 2nd down. So now 2nd and 10 after the incompletion on 1st down. Now Cousins. And this one hauled in by Rudolph. And he'll be brought down at the 45-yard line. That is catch number 300 now for his NFL career. The last play on the completion got them half of what they needed. Now here's a tough 3rd and 5. From the shotgun, it's Cousins. That's complete to the receiver, Thielen. And he's got this down a yard or 2 shy of the 40 before he's out of bounds. They get only 4 that time as that leads us to a 4th down.
So much about offense is what you call hidden yardage. You know, you throw the ball to someone, they catch it, and then they can make a big play. You know, they create a play, run after catch. They did a really nice job there of limiting that and keeping him from a 1st down.
Yeah, stopped him in his tracks. And Denver getting set to take the field. And 3 timeouts remaining here defensively, but really not much reason to use them at this point as this one is all but over.
If they use the timeouts here, it's strictly for show. We got a plane to catch.
Mike 54. Rabbit, 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 rabbit. Hey, wahoo!
On play action, they'll throw. He's going to rifle one deep left side. He's got a man complete. And they are going to score again. Yet another touchdown as they just add to their totals. He put quite a bit of air underneath that touchdown pass. Of course, we knew that he had the strong arm.
That part was easy. You could see that throughout his college career. But what you want to know about a rookie is when the pressure's on, can you throw with touch? He just did right there. And, boy, it was pretty.
And now the offense is going to stay out there as the Broncos will go for 2. They'll look to throw here. Under a heavy rush, and down he goes. So tried to throw it in for 2 points, but the D got home, brought him down.
It got home, which means there had to be good coverage. Just had nowhere to go with the ball. Typically, you try and throw quick hitters, quick slants, you know, maybe even a quick fade. Nothing was open. He ends up getting sacked.
This is taken about 7 yards deep. And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line. The Minnesota offense about ready to get this next drive underway. They are down big. They have not scored a single point. I don't know. Are they so defeated at this point you just want to get in the locker room and get the heck out of here?
That is one way to approach it. Sometimes coach say, that's it, okay? It hasn't worked all game. There's no sense in doing something now. Let's get out of here. No one gets hurt. But others will look at it and say, we still have an opportunity to do something.
On the line.
Exactly. You have pride on the line, execution as you look forward and get ready for your next game, and a message to your team. We're not going to quit. No matter what the battle is, we're going to finish this thing out.
So back-to-back incompletions, and that has them staring at a 3rd and 10. Now Cook, he's got it off the draw. And this has been a familiar sight all afternoon as they stop him behind the line. And now we'll get a timeout here. They're able to stop it with 1 second to go in this game. Here's Matt Weil now. He's been terrific so far. Averaging over 50 yards a punt so far as this one's away. Pulled in at the 24. So this one will wind up a Denver victory. And I tell you what, Charles, this might be about as good as it gets. They were incredible.
Yeah, offense was in fine form. The defense threw the shutout at them. I think they worked in concert together. What I like about the offense was they held the ball pretty well. You know, time of possession, exactly what they were looking for in this one. And that helped out their defense. Didn't have to be out there the entire time. So when you do that and you're out there fresh playing, off a little extra spring in your step, and it showed up in this one.
They had a ton of spring in their step. Impressive victory. So for the Broncos, the great run they've been on continues as they move to 9.